Well, I have been through many stages with this Corvette C4 top. It's originally was one of the smoked glass plastic that you could see through, but as you can see, it cracked in a number of places, and I tried various things to repair it. I tried with the special glues that you can get for repairing acrylic. I tried all sorts of different things, none of which really worked, in all honesty. I went and what do I do? And I looked at the cost of one of these things, and they're bloody ridiculous. They're over $1,000. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the car down to Mako to get the top half resprayed. So I figured, well, what the hell? I'll get them to do the roof at the same time. As you can see, it's been sanded. I have done some repairs on it. I'm about to give it another coat of filler primer, see where any blemishes are, and deal with them. Let me tell you what I did do in the end to stop these cracks from reopening, which they continually did no matter what adhesive I used. I have fiberglassed the interior. Yep. Got a kit from my local AutoZone, cost me I think around $30. The sheet of glass fiber was big enough to cover this. In fact, there was even some left over. Never done glass fiber before, and I have glass fibered the whole of the inside of this. Now, I'm not going to leave it as plain glass fiber, and I'll show you the inside in a minute. Well, actually, no, it won't be a minute, but it'll be a minute for you. I've got some black headliner with sponge on it, which I will stick to the inside to cover up the fiberglass. Because the fiberglass, you know, I just slapped it on. I'm no expert. And then I sanded it down. In fact, I'll tell you what, why don't I try and show you that now? I'm going to have to give you a quick tilt. Don't go away. There it is. That is it, fiberglassed, and I've sanded it, which is why you got these strange marks. There was a couple of holes, and I've put some plastic filler in there, and I'll sand that down before I put the headliner in there, which will make it look a lot better. It will look pretty, and I mean, obviously I'll clean all of this up before I stick the headliner in, and I think it will look pretty good. So it's an easy thing to do, really. This fiberglass shit, I was surprised how easy it was. Stick it down, mix it up, slap it on, stick it down, mix it up, slap it on. And then, as I said, I got a couple of, I had a bulb blister there, which I've dealt with. And there was another one there, which I dealt with, and another one there. And these are solid. And it means it will not move. It can't, because it's glassed. So now let's gonna respray now. I'm gonna respray this, and once that's done, well, then we'll see where the blemishes are, and we'll deal with those with filler or whatever we need to make it as good as we can. Perfection is not where we're headed. I've given it a coat of primer filler. I can already see there are a couple of lines that are going to need to be dealt with. And I think I might do is run a knife through those and then put some filler in them, give them a chance to bond. But first I need to let this dry. That's going to take a little while. And you can see what I was talking about with these cracks. But now they can't move, so I can dig them out and put filler in, and hopefully make it a bit better. Next, filler. Now, having given this a coat of the primer filler, now I've gone around with my sharp knife and highlighted all of the cracks and run the blade all the way around. Give me a nice clean line. And as can be seen, they go all over the damn place. I think I've found everyone. So now my task is to put some filler in all of these, thin skim, let it dry. In fact, I'm going to let it dry overnight and then sand the whole thing, get it as flat as possible, then give it another coat of Fiberglassed, which means I've got to go buy another can because I ran out. All right, let's get the filler on there. Don't you just love the smell of filler? Oh, there it is. I've filled in all the cracks. Now I'm going to let that set overnight, make sure it's good and solid, and then we'll sand it tomorrow. One thing which, you know, maybe you people don't do, I don't know. I have a pad, and I just mix up on a pad, because then, you know, when you're finished, you just grab it and done. There it is. Chuck it in the trash. You're ready for your next thing of filler. I used to do it in an old frying pan and then clean it up with a sander. And my brain cell engaged, and I said, this is stupid. I'm wasting all this time. Mix it up on a pad like this. I mean, if you need more filler, then you use a bigger pad, you know, bigger thing of paper, and you just tear it off when you're done. And you leave your little spatula, and that easily cleans up. Just a thought for you guys. Maybe you'll adapt it. Maybe you'll say, what a fucking idiot, but there you go. All right, next thing is to sand this down. And that will be tomorrow, and for you the next second. Holy shit, this is going to be a fun video. This is my Corvette C4, 1988. I am going to take it down to Mako and get the top half resprayed from this line upwards. Now, to make life easier for them and to make sure I get a good job, I want to get this spoiler off. But to get this spoiler off and the rear lights out and this Corvette badge off, there's a lot of work involved. However, I want to make it easy for them so that I get the best job I can. In order to remove this top half, you have to take the rear wheels off. Yep, ain't that a bitch? But hey, that's what you got to do. I thought just by removing this rear number plate, I could reach up and unbolt. Hang on. No, I can't even get my fucking arm up there. Someone said I've also got to take the rear reversing lights out. Well, I'm going to take them out anyway because that makes the painting job a lot easier. Oh, and I've already turned these. These are the number plate holding screws, brackets, whatever you want to call them. They kind of pivot on this rivet. Pivot on a rivet. I don't know whether it makes a fucking bit of difference or not. Guess I'm going to find out. So I'm going to get the back of this off. And I've heard, you know, oh, you can just pry this off or with a heat gun. And yeah, I don't think so. I think there is a lot more involved than just prying it off. And I want to do it properly. I want to make this look as best as I can so that I can sell my baby. And I don't want to sell it, but money. I need my money. So what I'm gonna do is jack it up, get the rear wheels off, and we'll take it from there. Don't go away, it's gonna be fun. Okay, we're leaping off into another bit of the C4 Corvette. I want to get the top half of this resprayed, as I think I've probably mentioned, but because of that rear spoiler, I'm going to take it off and hand it to them so that they can rub that down and spray it without causing them a lot of problems. In order to get this rear bumper off, which is what I have to do to get that spoiler off, you have to remove it. And to remove it, you need to remove the wheels and then remove these wheel covers. These are a T15. with the exception of one, that one there, and that's a T30. And the reason is that that has a brace behind it. So you have to undo all of them, and then of course you have the ubiquitous bolts over there, and I don't think they're a 10. I don't know, and I don't have the wrench in front of me, but they look as if they're an 11 or a 12. I'll let you know later. So this cover has to come off. Obviously the one on the other side has to come off, so that we can then get to the bolts that hold the top half and the bottom half together. But it's only back there that I'm interested in. I'm not really interested in removing this bottom half. I just want to get that top half out so that I can get to it. Let's get on with it. Now, as I have mentioned in many previous videos, and earlier in this one, I am going to be selling my Corvette. But it's got the Arizona rash, so I need to get that sorted out. And I'm going to go to my local Mako, who do a half decent job. And I need them to spray from this line up. But of course there's a spoiler here. Now, to me, that's going to be very awkward for them to spray and get it right. So what I intend to do is take the spoiler off. But in order to get that spoiler off, I have to remove the rear bumper, or this piece of plastic. You take out the number plate, you've got to take out the reversing lights, you've got to take out these lights, and you have to remove the filler cap, and then I'll remove the emblem as well. And in order to do all of that, you have to take the rear wheels off. And I know I mentioned it before, and I just want to show you now so we can get in there. Now, I know you can't see anything in there. I will show that in a little while. And whilst I've got this off, I'll give it a bit of a clean in here. Why? Because I like to do shit like that. Then, once I've done that, I'm going to put the bumper back on, once I've got the spoiler off, and then let them deal with this. Now, light sanding is what will be required. Then they'll paint it with the base colour. Then they'll clear coat it. Then this baby will live in the garage until such times as I can sell it. So let's get on with it. Oh, and at the same time, I'll be dealing with the arm tenor that's kind of disappeared down there. I got a new grommet for it. Yeehaw! Okay, I managed to force my arm down through this hole, and you do have to take the gas cap off. And let me, in fact, put that back on right now. Don't like having exposed gas. And I can reach the top bolts on the rear lights, on these ones. Sorry, my extension is running away. That happens all the time. And now I can get my hand in here to get this light out. Not going to be easy. Also, you need to undo these bolts. Hang on, let me get my finger there. These ones here. And this is, again, to remove the rear bumper. What I did discover is whilst I could reach one of the bolts, this one, through the top, this one here at the bottom, I had to go through this way and to get to it. And you are going to cut yourself up. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, the blood's dried, you can't quite see it. So that's, be prepared to get scratched, or find someone with skinny arms, you know, maybe your young lady, and get her skinny little arms in there and get her to undo it. Or a child is good, and because then if the child gets stuck, you can always cut the arm off and just, you know, just drag it out and throw it in the trash. And put it on the barbecue. They're quite nice, actually, barbecued. I think it was W.C. Fields, or was it George Burns? I cannot remember who said it, but one of them said, Christmas is a time for children, but I couldn't eat a whole one. Okay, move on. Next, get these lights out, and I've just showed you how I'm going to do that. Then we get in the wheel arch and start undoing as many bolts as we can find. Well, everything is now out, and it was a struggle. You look at my wrist there. Now, I'm no Dwayne Johnson, you know, I'm not built like a brick shithouse. My arms are reasonably thick, but not like they were when I was younger. I am wondering that when I put this back together, I'm going to put the lights in first and then just struggle to make the connections. That's got to be a lot easier than what I've just done. And the only reason I did it the way I've just done it is that's what other so-called experts have done. You know, you undo this and you undo that. Sorry, Richard, my clone's playing on my computer. Hey, Richard, how you doing, buddy? So I've just got to now get into this and get the nuts and bolts undone in the wheel arch. Sorry, Richard, I'm going to have to cut you off.